Good evening. Normally when I come up to the podium at these meetings, it's for happier reasons. Usually I have a stack of certificates in my hand, and I'm congratulating either city staff or residents or some of my deputies for doing a great job. But tonight I'm at the podium for a different reason. I'm standing here tonight, and I'd like to talk about, two tragedies that occurred in the city. And one is the death of Thetus Fleming Jr. He was struck and killed, not at the intersection of Hillsborough and Martin Luther King. He was struck in the 200 block of West Hillsborough. It was not in the intersection. That's, something that's been put out there over and over again, that he was crossing in the intersection, and that is just not true. It was actually right in front of the auto parts place. That happened on February 17th of this year. And folks, I got to tell you, it was a horrible, horrible accident, and I could not imagine what it would be like to lose a son or a daughter in that fashion. And it was the same thing that Commissioner Preston and I told Thetus's mother when we met with her, expressing our condolences, and not only from us, but the entire city and my entire staff. Just a horrible accident. What was unfortunate is I spent nearly a half hour, explaining to her or reassuring her that much of the information that's being put out about this case is flat out not true at all. I have to be very careful, that I limit my words about this investigation because it is ongoing, but I'll share with you what I shared with Ms. Walker when I met with her. The Broward Sheriff's Office Traffic Homicide Unit is the unit that's investigating this case, as they do with all traffic homicide cases. I will tell you, I know them all. In my 23 years at the agency, I've worked with many of them. I know the commander of the unit personally and speak to him weekly about this case. They are highly trained experts at what they do. And I will tell you, since February 17th, the night of this accident, they have worked diligently on this case and continue to do so. This case involves the death of a human being. The death of a human being. And that mandates certain investigative protocols. Many times, in these cases, detectives have to work with the medical examiner's office, the Broward State Attorney's office. They have to wait for toxicology results, reconstruct the accident scene, wait on DNA and fingerprint results. They have to locate and interview witnesses. I will tell you that these investigations take a lot of time. It wasn't that long ago we had a senseless homicide at the Deerfield Country Club. Does everybody remember that case? The Randall case? Let me tell you what, the detective on that case worked diligently, and it took 12 months for him to secure an arrest warrant for just one of the suspects. And that case has continued to be worked by BSO. These cases are not worked overnight, and there's a lot of time, effort, and expertise that's put into it. Also, you have to understand that once a detective makes an arrest in a case, or a deputy sheriff on the road, there's timetables that kick in with the Broward State Attorney's Office. And oftentimes, detectives only have 21 days from the time of the arrest to file the case. Or there's a possibility that the charges will be dropped by the state. That's plain fact. So jumping to conclusions, putting handcuffs on people prematurely is not in the best interest of the case and the victim and the victim's family. And that's who the detectives work for. It's for the victim who can't speak for themselves, and for the family. And that's what we're doing. And this is why many death investigations, there's not an arrest made immediately. It's just, I mean, I want to make sure that everybody understands that. The second tragedy I want to talk about is the irresponsible dissemination of false and inaccurate information about this case. There are emails and blogs being created with accusations that are just plain not true. Comments about what the alleged suspect said or did not say at the scene, not true. Not true. You know, when I started in this career 23 years ago, I was told that you have to have tough skin to survive, that people will call you names, disrespect you, even though you're trying to help them. But when someone makes an allegation, and I'm going to quote this, maybe if the suspect had done this and caused the death of 2 little white girls out on Powerline Road, or a Hispanic male on Sample and Military, or a little old white lady on Dixie and 48th, then he would already be in jail instead of home on Facebook. Folks, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you right now.
Stop. Please, stop. Come on. Please.
I will tell you that I take that personal, as does every person who wears a police uniform. I take it personal. Trying to make this into a racial issue is the most ignorant, disrespectful, and baseless allegation I can think of. It hurts the investigation, it hurts the victim's family, and it hurts the relationship that we are building between BSO and the District 2 community. It tears it apart. You know, I will tell you that when I sat and talked with Ms. Walker, I talked to her about that allegation. She does not believe that at all.
Stop.
She does not believe this at all.
We let you talk. Yes. If he talks again, I want him removed, okay? I got 2 deputies here, so thank you.
You know, the bottom line, folks, I'm telling you, this is not about a black and white issue. This is not about the victim being black and the alleged suspect being white. The BSO detectives are doing their job, and they will do it thoroughly, and they will investigate this case and unturn every rock, and they will present their findings to the Broward State Attorney's Office, who will have the final say if and when charges are filed. That's the truth, and that's how it works. You know, I've been told not to argue with ignorance, because ignorance will bring you down to their level and beat you with experience. And I'm just not going to do that. The bottom line is this case is being investigated by the very best. I ask for everyone's patience as detectives complete the investigation, and once the investigation is completed with the facts of this case, it'll be presented to the Broward State Attorney's Office, who will ultimately decide if charges will be filed. Thanks.
Thank you. Is there anyone else from the audience?